Thank you for standing by and welcome to the MBDA Virtual Substance Sandwich webinar. My name is Gabriela Zambrano and I'm the director of the Houston MBDA Business Center. This is our 6th year of offering substance sandwiches and our 1st year with the Austin Gilbane joint venture. During today's webinar, attendees will be in listen-only mode. There will be a Q&A session at the end of today's call. My colleague, Mark Craig, is going to monitor the Q&As. If you have any questions during the presentation, you may submit it online by entering in the Q&A panel. As a reminder, this presentation is being recorded and the presentation will be available via email with the participants. Now, I'd like to introduce our colleagues, Mark Craig and Deidre Sutton, and our office manager, Jessica Vasquez. Our next MBDA event is Virtual Substance Sandwich with DPR Construction. It will be held on Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020, beginning at 11:30 a.m. We will have the opportunity to interact with DPR and learn about upcoming construction opportunity. Today, we have the pleasure to meet with Austin Gilbane Joint Venture. This is how the event will go. Austin Gilbane Joint Venture will introduce himself and then make a presentation. After the presentation, the participants will introduce themselves and briefly describe what they self-perform in 30 seconds. Then we'll break into questions and answers. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mokita Kinan, Diversity Affairs Coordinator at Austin Commercial, and she will be joined by Andrew Reno, Project Manager with Conrio. Mokita?
Hello. Oh, hi.
There we go.
Nice to meet everyone. Yes, I am here, and Andrew will be joining me today to go through the presentation. We are extremely excited to have been invited to such an opportunity. We are very close. We have a very strong partnership with Substance Sandwiches, so we try and do our best to have an open line of communication, especially when it comes to the opportunities that we have going on here at the MLIT project. So if you're wondering what MLIT stands for, it's actually the Mickey Leland International Terminal, and it is a part of the Houston Airport system. So we work very closely with HAS and another organization, PMT, as well as the Office of Business Opportunity. And we're going to focus on the terminal redevelopment program. So you can go ahead and go to the next slide. This particular project, we are the construction manager at risk. So we have a joint partnership with Gilbane. Austin Commercial has a joint partnership with the Gilbane building company. And so we formulated a joint venture called Austin Gilbane. And so the focus on this project will be to the Pier D West, which will accommodate about 6 wide body airplanes. And we're going to have a new sterile corridor there that'll be responsible for funneling passengers to and from the FIS location. And then we'll be working on the CD connector with Terminal D, gates 1 through 12. And they're going to be receiving a complete remodel. We're hoping to make it more in line with an international feel of an airport. So it'll be very, very modern and very upscale. And it'll kind of give you the impression that you're actually somewhere else other than in Texas. It'll give you that very international feel. So that's what we're focusing on, and that's what we hope to accomplish. And we're also going to work a little bit on the ticketing and central baggage operations as well. So this project will be constructed in multiple phases. The next slide will be that of various phases. So Andrew is actually going to talk a little bit about each phase, starting with this particular phase.
Thanks, Moquita. So yes, I will discuss the next, the phasing for the project. This project will be completed in multiple phases. We have completed our first phase, which was the demolition of the existing OC North terminal. That work was completed back in June. We're now going to be moving forward with our site utility package, which includes our aviation fuel line, domestic water, sanitary sewer, storm sewer. We got a little bit of electrical duct bank work, and we have some foundations for the sterile corridor that you see there. So then we also have some environmental remediation work that we have to perform as well. Next slide. So this phase here is, you'll see we're going to be completing most of our fuel phase right here, still ongoing. We'll be completing our environmental remediation, our site utilities, and our underground utility work. We'll start beginning the next phase for the fuel, which will be phase 3 and 4, and then we'll be completing our sterile corridor. Also during this phase, as you see, it's going to be the quarter 3 and 4 of 2021. We'll start our new core and shell project, which is the CBIS building, as you see right there on the east side there. And then we have a little bit of more electrical work right next to the CBIS building. That's going to be a standalone project separate from the new Pier D West and the Terminal D work. So that's going to be a standalone with the called the CBIS project. Next slide, please. So this phase, we'll be completing the phase 2 of fuel. We'll begin the phase 5 of fuel. We'll start our steel structure, concrete, for the Pier D West, and we'll complete our underground utility work before that time. And also during that time, we'll start our sterile corridor work that will tie the existing Terminal D to the new Pier D West. And we'll begin our renovation work on the interior for the CD knuckle and the CD connector, which you see there in blue. And then we'll still be ongoing with the core and shell for the CBIS. This work, we have it tentatively scheduled for quarter 1 and quarter 2 of 2022, if you see down below on the left there. Next slide. So during this phase, this is quarter 3 and 4 of 2022. We're looking to complete the steel and concrete for Pier D West. We're going to continue the facade and roof work for Pier D West. We're actually going to start our interior and MEP work for Pier D West. We have completed the sterile corridor during this phase, and we're also moving forward with the refurbishment of the actual Terminal D and CD connector. And we'll still be ongoing with the CBIS core and shell work. Next slide. So during this phase of construction, this is now getting us to the quarter 1 and quarter 2 of 2023. We will have completed the facade and roof for Pier D West. We'll be continuing the interiors and MEP for Pier D West. We will have completed sterile corridor. We'll complete the knuckle and CD connector work, and we'll be continuing ongoing with work within the Terminal D terminal at that time. During this time also, we'll be complete with the core and shell, so we'll be finishing up core and shell for the CBIS building during this quarter 1, quarter 2 of 2023. Next slide. I believe this is the end of the project here. 2023 quarter 2, 3 and 4 will be complete with the interiors for the MEP and over at Pier D West. We'll be finishing up the last piece of the Terminal D refresh, which will actually go into quarter 1 of 2024. But we'll be pretty much wrapped up somewhere around the end of 2023. Might have a little bit of work going into the first quarter of 2024. So it shows the timeline for the whole entire terminal project. Began 2019, and it will go all the way through 2024. So pretty long project. We have lots of packages that will be coming out. So stay tuned, stay close to Moquita, stay close to myself, and we'll hope that you guys have an opportunity to work on the project. So this is just all the slides put together. This will all be included with the when we share it on LinkedIn or wherever, you guys will be able to see this. We'll be introducing this in our pre-bids that we have coming up as well. So.
myself. So the reason I put this slide in here so that you guys can have an opportunity to read up on me and get to know me a little bit. I will be the direct contact, and then any additional questions that you have after this that you forgot to answer or something, I will like if I can't immediately answer them, I will relay them to my team and make sure to get that information out to them. You'll also be receiving correspondence from me if you're on, if you've reached out to me and given me your email and everything, I'll add you to our list, and I'll make sure that you're sent the, when we have our pre-bids or anytime we have any opportunities or we'll be participating in different programs and things like that, I'll make sure to relay that information to you guys either in the form of a newsletter or it'll just be like an FYI informational email that will be sent to you that way. So you can move on to the next slide. So for our upcoming opportunities, which Andrew hit briefly on, we will be having our procurement package 2 come out very soon. We don't have the exact date of when we'll have that pre-bid meeting, but as soon as we do, like I said, I'll be make sure that I'll convey that information over to our partners here at Subs and Sandwiches, and of course, anyone who reaches out to me and gives me their email, I can add them to the list to make sure. But we will have site utilities, which will include storm, sanitary sewer, and domestic water. We'll have a package for electrical communications, duct bank, aviation fuels, and EFSO controls, sterile corridor foundations, which will include the drilled piers, and then Portland cement concrete, pavement at apron, and pavement markings. So those will be the opportunities that we'll have. And if you're interested at all in any of these, like if you feel that you want to bid on any of these, or you want to you have a special skill, your company has a special product or service that you feel would be good as a subcontractor, subbing out additional work under these packages to one of the prime vendors who'll be bidding, please reach out to myself. Towards the end of the slide, you'll see the email communications that I'll post for you to email that email. This presentation will be sent out to everybody, so you can check that email out and reach out to me. Send me your company name and information, and then I'll make sure to get you on track and let you know what all you need to prepare for procurement package 2 bids. You can go on to the next slide. So this project does have anticipated goals. So the goals that we have set for this project will be 30% MBE and 10% WBE. So this does not mean just random MBE certifications outside of the city of Houston, because unfortunately the city of Houston does not accept or acknowledge those specific certifications. They only acknowledge City of Houston certified certifications. So if your company is interested in maybe participating in our project and you guys would like to allow us to utilize your certification for credit, we are asking for you to make sure that it is a City of Houston certified certification. We are expecting all of our bidders to meet and or exceed these specific goals. So when they're actually proposing, we are asking that they provide a good faith effort, that they can meet the various targets that we have set for the anticipated goals, and just to identify how they'll be meeting the goals. So MBE and WBE is a certification that we take very seriously here on this project. And so we will be doing our due diligence to verify credibility and making sure that they are legitimately certified and that those certifications have not expired. So if you, like I said, if you're interested in the certification process, or you are certified and would like your company to be recognized as such, please reach out to our team, and then we'll assist you further with that. You can go on to the next slide. So moving on to the OBO documentation portion, So being certified on this project is obviously very great. We are encouraging people to get that certification, but what's even more important is the documentation that goes along with this project. So there is about maybe 39, 40 documents that are required by the Office of Business Opportunity, as well as our contract, to be filled in and turned in with every proposal, and all the way down to the lower level tiers. So second tier, third tier, fourth tier, and on will all be responsible for filling out this packet, the OBO documentation packet. And this is just to be in compliance with Chapter 15 of this contract, which goes over the City of Houston Code of Ordinances. So we just want to make sure we're complying. We want to make sure that we're meeting every objective that the Office of Business of Opportunity has given us. And so a part of that is the documentation piece. We'll be monitoring that through a series of certified payroll. When you're awarded the document, you have to do certified payroll. You have to report into B2G, which is their contract compliance system. And then anytime you fill out change orders, you just want to make sure that you're aware that there is a significant amount of documentation that is required just to keep up with all of that as well. You can go into the next slide. So Austin Gilbane, our Diversity Affairs Department, does do quite a bit of internal outreach. This is outreach that we use to educate our vendors of the OBO documentation process and of the OBO requirements. We make sure that they understand how to fill them out, what is expected of them, and answer any questions they may have along the process. This is a really good educational piece so that everybody is on the same page in the MLIT project expectations. Okay, you can move on to the next slide. So another thing that we like to do for internal outreach would be that we have like 3 to 4 yearly outreach events. And I actually kind of want to try and move away from outreach per se, but we want to have strategic partnership events, right? These events are really, really important in creating and developing strategic partnerships. It's where we ask all of our prime vendors to come out, as well as all of the minority vendors who are interested in doing work on the project, to have a face-to-face meeting. I know that that's going to be kind of a little weird with the pandemic going on, but no worries. That's why we have virtual events where we can put people into separate rooms and they can meet different prime contractors and really dive into what it is that your companies and their companies specialize in and can do, and just focus on what you can do on this project to contribute and help the goal, as well as help your company gain notoriety and awareness. You can move on to the next slide. So external outreach, we do quite a bit of external outreach as well, virtual and in person. An example would be the Greater Houston Business Procurement Forum Breakfast. This event that we're doing right now is considered external. Subs and Sandwiches, where we outreach to vendors who otherwise wouldn't know of the project's existence, right? And so we get to talk about our project, we get to meet vendors face to face, try and encourage them to look into filling out the pre-qualification form, and making sure that they have what it takes and begin to create the means to have what it takes to bid on these projects here at the MLIT. You can move on to the next slide. So we do several City of Houston outreach events. So we do the annual Meet the Buyers Forum that they have every year, as well as we participate in the Diversity Awards ceremony, where we like to sit and be a part of that experience where they award diversity partners who have done wonderful works for the City of Houston. They award them every single year with an annual ceremony. And so we like to, Austin Gilbane loves to participate in that. You can move on to the next slide. In NAMAC is a great chapter that we are very, very involved with. It's the National Association of Minority Contractors here in Houston. And so it's mostly construction-based contractors, and they it's a national organization, but they do have a Houston chapter, which is the one that we're involved with. And so we do, we participated in their annual, and I think this was the first year they started it, but their annual construction expo, where we had a booth, and then we subcontractors or lower level tier contractors will come around and introduce themselves to us. And then we would formulate partnerships that way by reaching back out to them and getting them on board, with our projects and things like that. You can move on to the next slide. So we don't normally, we don't only focus on just trade organizations. We also focus on making an improvement in the community. So we do believe that creating an impact when people are younger just carries over. So we want to encourage diversity also in the workplace as well. And so this is one of the events that we're heavily involved with, ACE Architecture Construction Engineering Program. It's where we meet with college, we meet with high school students, and we let them know, we build, different project build outs with them while still educating them about, Austin Commercial and Gilbane Company. And we just let them know about our companies to give them the ability to just really focus a little bit about their careers and aspirations. You can move on to the next slide. So the characteristics at this airport are very unique. We do require bid documentation for all contractors and lower level tier contractors. They're responsible for submitting the same documentation. We do require that all bidders who are awarded contracts be badged and have escorting approval through HAS. And this is just this is just an airport thing where it's just an additional level of clearance that they have to have. And then we also require them to do HASIC training along with OSHA training. So HAS does require them to take a 2-hour course, and then they will have to have the OSHA, certification complete within a year of the time that they're awarded to start work on the project. So a lot of people like to say, well, I have, OSHA 30 and OSHA 10 already, but it may be over a year. HAS does require that they do that, have that certification updated within a year, because a lot changes. It changes every year, and they add new safety protocols to OSHA every single year. So they say, you know what, a year it is. So these are the characteristics and something to think about. Here is the contact information that you can use to reach out to myself here on the project or our purchasing team for any purchasing questions. Any purchasing questions. So yes, I'll open up the floor for any questions that you guys may have for myself or Andrew.
Oh, thank you, Makita and Andrew. Well, before we go into questions, I'm going to let the participants to briefly introduce themselves. And I'm going to unmute them, call their name, and hopefully they're ready. If I miss you or you can't speak, feel free to introduce yourself in the Q&A. So our first participant is Anthony Curtis. Are you ready, Anthony?
Oh, sure. Hello.
Hello, Anthony.
Hello, girl. I know a few people here on this panel. Hello, everyone. So I'm Anthony Curtis with Texting Technologies. We're an IT and telecommunications firm. We provide low voltage cabling services, plus we help organizations with technology deployments.
All right, welcome, Anthony. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Craig Williams. Are you ready, Craig?
I'm always ready. Good morning, how are you guys? I see some familiar faces on here as well. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Makuda. How are you? Well, CLK Resources, we're a MBDA general contracting firm that self-performs earthwork, site utilities, underground utilities, excavation, things of that nature. So happy to be on here, happy to participate in the project so far, and look forward to hopefully continuing on with you guys.
Well, welcome, Craig. Thank you so much for joining us. The next person is Eugene Maddox. Are you ready, Eugene?
Yes, that's Eugene. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, I'm Eugene Maddox. My company is Impact. It's a construction management company, and I'm certified Section 3, small business, minority business. I have my Turner construction certificate, and I um, do painting, drywall, and flooring. And I'm looking forward to maybe working with you guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Eugene, for joining us. I appreciate it. Okay, our next participant is John Shade. Are you ready, John?
Yes. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is John Shade. I'm the commercial manager for Gouttiere Construction. We are an envelope services company. We do roofing, sheet metal, waterproofing. We are an MBE, Hub, DBE company, all the certifications, and just happy to be here.
Well, thank you and so much for joining us. I appreciate that. Okay, our next one is Michelle. I can barely see the last name, so I apologize for this. Michelle Carter.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Mitchell Carter, and I am the CEO of Prodex Created Floors Incorporated. We manufacture terrazzo floors and concrete toppings and different kind of cementitious industrial flooring.
All right, well, welcome, Mitchell. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go to my next person. Natasha Noor, are you ready? Natasha, are you there? I'm gonna try one more time. Hello, Natasha. Okay, gonna go to the next person. Paul Lucia, are you ready?
Good
Paul?
afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Go ahead, Paul.
Howdy, I'm with Built with Foam. We make custom styrofoam for the construction industry.
Welcome, Paul. Then Rosalind Wyatt. Are you ready, Rosalind?
Hi, good morning. How are you guys?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
My name is Rosalind Wyatt, and I am a consultant with Green Nexus Consulting. We are a WBE full service green building certification and sustainability company. We work with architects, GCs, and shepherd the way through the LEED, WELL, and basically any other green certification that your project requires. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rosalind. And that's it. So, Mark, it's up to you now. You're next.
We do not have any questions. So
Oh.
I guess Andrew and Mokita were so brilliant that we didn't need to have that no one ask any questions. I did see Mokita, that you put in your contact info in chat. Do you want to repeat that, or?
Yes, I will. So you can email me at diversity@austingilbane.com if you have any questions. You're more than welcome to visit our website as well. too. It's www.austingilbane.com. So yeah, just feel free to reach out to me if you had any additional questions. I know it's a lot of information that me and Andrew talked about today, but don't let that discourage you because again, we are here to help and we are here to develop vendors into hopefully strong, suitable vendors for future aviation projects, right? You never know, like aviation, working on aviation projects, it may be your thing. And we want to make sure that you feel comfortable doing so and that you're not discouraged. So that email again is diversity, that's Diversity at Austin Gilbane, AustinGilbane.com. So yeah, definitely email me if you have any questions. I did put in another slide, but that was just it was a slide to basically highlight some.
I can play it.
Yeah, some of the vendors who did work with us, like on this project, and who really liked it, right? COK, I don't believe that they were very familiar with the aviation projects at all, and so they were a fairly new vendor to us, and they ended up being a wonderful asset to us, and they enjoyed it. So this is just a quick little video. We, like Nations Waste, they did a wonderful job for us, and we still use them to dispose of our waste. It's pretty cool. JLA, so I mean, they just had nothing but great things to say working with us on this project. So anyway, that's about it, guys. So I hope you.
Wait, I have a couple of questions, Makita.
Sure.
Sorry, they've been sending it to me privately, if that's okay, if I can talk about. So one of them, they said, who do we contact to start the process to become a vendor to Gilbane?
Oh, to Gilbane? Well, I know for this specific project, because I want to make sure that they're aware, I give it to myself. So they can reach out to me at the email that I have given before, and then I'll help them along the way in the process to becoming a vendor. Yes.
Okay, so the first will be to reach out to you. And then I have another question. This might be for Andrew. It says, is the core and shell building that Andrew mentioned possibly seeking LEED certification?
Right now, we don't know. It's currently in design process right now.
Presentation will be shared via an email, the PowerPoint, the recorder. Just give us between 24 to 48 hours to send you an email, but you will receive it through this week. But I think the one thing I do, and this is maybe as a question for Andrew, I know this is a very long process. You said the projects have started since 2019 and it's going to end since at the end of 2024. Mokita, is it your job kind of like getting all these subcontractors because you start getting different biddings throughout the whole process? Should people get discouraged maybe if they don't have certain certification? Because I know like the City of Houston MBE process can be long, and even I was looking at the presentation and the amount of paperwork is extensive. So
yeah, it is. Okay. So yeah, so I'm not responsible for the actual certification process as a whole. So that would fall under the Office of Business Opportunity. But what we do have, we're very close to the OBO there. So we're very close to Portia and some of the other members on the team, like Jason. They're very open to us. If vendors are inundated and they're just confused and they want to know what the next steps are during the certification process, they are very open to us forwarding those vendors over to them so that they can answer. They have OBO coordinators that strategically work with these vendors to make that process a little bit easier. Now they have really improved though, because the certification process is automated now. So they go through an automated system where they fill everything out, online. our specific documentation is still, they are filled out specifically through PDF forms. But, we are really trying to work on making that whole process a lot easier for vendors. So we're consistently coming up with different ways and different methods that we can utilize to make that less intimidating for vendors, And yes, I would be the initial person that they would go to and speak with. And then from there, I will determine whether or not it's above me that I would send them over to OBO, or if it's something that I can handle and work with them one-on-one with.
All right. Well, I think this is all the questions, unless Mark, you have another question that you would like to ask, or are you good?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, well, good. Well, Makita and Andrew, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you guys have been working really hard trying to share the information. Makita, if it is okay, I'm going to make sure to send that email address that you share with everybody, which is diversity@austingilbane.com, when we send our e-blast, so they have it and they contact you. So again, the first step is just to contact Makita, ask her questions. She's there. She's very nice person, I have to tell you. She's always responds to our email pretty quickly. So I'm sure she's going to do that with you guys the same way. Andrew, as always, it's been a pleasure working with you guys. And guys, have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.